it's definitely January. And had some pretty nasty weather up here today, so. But I might do one more recovery-related video, and since we're getting into really one of my favorite times of year, Turner Syndrome Awareness Month, we'll kind of take a break from recovery issues. Hopefully, it is to be hoped to take a break from the drama. And just kind of say, well, yeah, there's nothing much you can do about the Flat Earth Society, or you can't really do much about the people who want to believe the sky is green with polka dots crowd. But I did want to. I was thinking about a really funny exchange, and it actually kind of reminds me of kind of an old saying that yours truly has had to learn the hard way. And so, lessons lived, lessons learned on just another recovery-minded episode of Brother Mark, Turner Syndrome, Butterflies in Life. This one may be for butterflies, this may be for significant others, this may be for people who may be in 12-step recovery, this may be people who have been kind of dealing with some of our listeners who deal with narcissistic abuse, or it may be just people who just enjoy the channel and just kind of along for the ride. Yeah. There's an old saying, which I've had every time learned the hard way, which goes, don't let things live in your head rent free. So free advice from somebody who's learned it the hard way. And sometimes for butterflies, this can be a challenge, and I've had those conversations. That's okay. I'm on. But really got me thinking about many years ago. I had a situation. I think an old significant other moved back into town. And I was living in Cincinnati at the time. And how dare Geraldine move back into town and interfere with my space? Well, first off, and I was really copying a big time resentment about it. And instead, I ran into an older man in AA. He actually, I think he had an arrangement where he could live in a place in the east end of Cincinnati, not one of the world's greatest neighborhoods, but he fortunately he was blessed to live he had his own room in exchange for doing some maintenance work. So hey, he kept a roof over his head, and kept food, and obviously put food in the cupboard. But one day I ran to him and then another regular in Cincinnati, and I was jumping up and down and screaming about Geraldine's back in town. And he was an older guy, probably in his 70s or 80s, and he just looked at me and said, "Well, Mark, you don't have to let this live in your head rent free." Oh yeah, that is right. Yeah, sometimes I forget that. So. I really forget that sometimes, and not let things live in my head rent free, and I don't have, and also, as he rightly reminded me, Cincinnati's a big town. I lived in one section, and Geraldine lived in another, and I was like, hey, I didn't have to let it live in my head rent free. And the funny thing is, the situation kind of really came home to roost last night, where I really exchanged somebody a compliment, and then the sister just went, and Okay, and it's just like, and well, I figured, okay, that's her reaction. I'm not really responsible, but I was thinking, you know, you could have said, a healthy person would say, hey, thanks, Mark. I appreciate the gesture, but yeah, thanks, but no thanks. Or, but I think a healthy person would say, yeah, it was really nice, really nice of you. And somebody doesn't have their car lights on. Oh well, we'll let the local gendarmes deal with them. But anyway, sometimes I have to remind the green sky, pink polka dot crowd. You don't have to live it lit in your head rent free. You could change the channel. You don't, just if I take a certain position, you don't have to react to it. So, oh, okay. And I had a laugh. There's another TS sister. Believe it or not, is crazy and as wild about her, and it's just with all the ad hominem vitriol I get from her. I rather like her. Okay, so I'm going to hear more of why you buttfucker, kill us twice, one time, Well, you could, and this one, she could change the channel. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, Mark wants, alright. Okay, so Mark wants to advocate with Turner syndrome. And I can live with it. There's a pretty big community. The TS community is a pretty big worldwide community. And so I think the story kind of works both ways, which is don't let it live in your head rent free. Or somebody would say, don't get all your undies up in the wad. A little too crude for my taste, but hey, hey, the comic gets the job done. I can live with that. So anyway, so I have to realize that story really goes both ways. Don't worry. My wife is sitting here saying, do you know where you're going? I said, yes. So long story, and the answer is yes. We just had to go someplace on Tuesday, another night of the week, and we just want to figure out where it was. So that's why you're getting this tour of unincorporated Franklin County, Ohio. Now this time I will be careful not to hit a utility pole. Thankfully, no damage to the car. So, okay. Just whatever you do, don't do this with an 18-wheeler, please. I don't want to hear about it. Oh, you made me back my 18-wheeler back in Pullman. Sorry. Or tree. Well, maybe that's a good way to branch out. So who knows? But don't let things live in your head rent free. I have to do that. I mean, I think Linus had it absolutely right when he said there are three things in life you don't discuss: religion, politics, and the Great Pumpkin. So, again, you don't. Oh, it's on the right-hand side. So anyway, yeah, it's coming up to the right hand side. Yeah, give me just a moment, folks. I think the answer to the question will be coming up. But anyway, so Don't let things live in your head rent free. You have a choice. Change the channel. I mean, your serenity is so worth it. I've had to do the same thing myself, and where I've had to say, don't let things live in my head rent free. And yes, the answer to your question, that is a church. Okay, so anyway, but anyway, so that's okay. Get the job done. So anyway, well, man, I think I could make a plug though for a Christian group nationwide, but that some might find helpful. You can check it out for yourself called Celebrate Recovery, and some might find it helpful. So again, sure, as always, take what you like, leave the rest. Don't let it live your head rent free. And hey, your serenity and your peace of mind is too much to waste. And sometimes when I get those emails or those text messages or those videos saying, accusing me once again, I don't know how gagging. I don't, it seems like everybody wants to think that is still saying that my mom wears army boots, is from Des Moines, Iowa, and that I am square dancing in a roundhouse. So, and you know what my response to that is? Whatever. Yeah, it's all part of the package. Anyway, happy Turner Syndrome Awareness Month, and hope it's a good time for celebration to remember to the community, friends, and supporters. There's much can be said about being Turner strong. Talk to you next time.